Just had someone say that exercise and a bad diet is better than great diet, no exercise outside of everyday activities. Thoughts? No. And the reason for this is quite simple. You could exercise and still eat your way into being morbidly obese. Because the nutrition is going to make a far bigger difference for your overall health and your overall physique than the actual exercise.
I had tried everything. You can't outwork a bad diet. So I had to learn how to be disciplined and control what I put in my mouth. I don't care how hard you work out, you gotta control what go in your mouth.
What's up, guys? Mr. Fit to Flourish. Today, I wanted to talk about the fact that you cannot outwork a bad diet. And this may be the reason, 100%, most likely the reason why you are stuck in life and pretty much wherever it is that you are trying to get past. Now, what do I mean by outworking a bad diet? This is in all aspects of life, but specifically when it comes to getting in the best shape of your life, trying to get the physique that you want. I remember a time where I was working super hard in pharmacy, and I was managing one of the largest pharmacies in Florida, and I was getting extremely out of shape. I told myself I didn't have time to work out, so I wasn't working out. And my whole life I've been a football player, so I always worked out, and I always really ate whatever I wanted because I would eat anywhere from 3,500 to 6,000 calories a day, and that's quite a bit of calories. But I wasn't gaining any weight because I was always extremely active when it comes to football practice and burning tons and tons of calories with high intensity workouts. And as soon as I stopped that, and I'm starting to get older than 21, right? That's when your metabolism slows down a little bit, but then it's going to slow down as well because I wasn't working out anymore. So I was working quite a bit in the pharmacy, started to gain a ton of weight, and then I was like, oh man, I look different. I'm going to start working out again. But at that point, I had developed the habits of having a bad diet. And that was pretty much after work. I was so tired. It'd be 10 p.m. at night. I didn't make any food. I didn't meal prep. I didn't buy any food because I told myself I didn't have time. Essentially didn't prioritize my diet. And I was eating Taco Bell, those beefy burrito melts, those quesadillas. I was eating McDonald's, Big Macs. I was drinking juices, alcohol mixed with juices. I was just pretty much eating whatever. But then I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get back in shape. So I started working out pretty hard, right? I would go to the gym and I would lift weights heavy like I was in football again. And I was doing it every day. I was going to the gym, right? And I told myself like, oh, I'm doing good. I hit the stair stepper for 10 minutes and I was going hard and I would be sweating after every workout. And then 2 months later, I didn't notice any difference. The only difference I noticed was like, instead of just being flabby fat, I was like hard fat. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on? I'm like working out so hard 2 months in a row. Why am I not getting in the best shape of my life? And it's because you cannot outwork a bad diet. I was still eating in a caloric surplus. So the amount of calories I was eating, 3,500 to 6,000 calories a day, not tracking how much I was eating, but eating that many calories, you can't outwork that unless you're a Division 1 to Division 2 or a high quality athlete. You can't outwork that diet. I promise you. Okay, you can go run all the miles you want to run. You're going to be eating at muscle. Okay, so to get into the best shape of your life, you're going to have to be in a caloric deficit. But not only that, you're going to have to monitor what you're eating and make sure you're eating quality things. Okay, so that means protein, moderate fat, low to moderate carbs, and you're going to have to monitor what you're eating. Okay, it has to be quality foods. You can't just go fast food, fats all the time, massive calories all the time. And I'm seeing a lot of people that work out every day, or sometimes I'm in the gym, and these people are in the gym more than me. They're literally there all day, every day. But they're still some of the fattest people I've seen some of the people with the least definition in terms of muscle that I've ever seen. And they're like, yeah, well, I work out hard. I work out every day. I'm going hard. I'm going hard. Well, the truth in life is you don't always have to go harder. You don't always have to go harder. You have to go smarter. You have to monitor your diet. Okay? So we talked about it in terms of health. Now, what does it mean in terms of like something that you're doing, or if you're a trader and you watch this channel and you're trying to trade, what does it mean in terms of trading, in terms of business, or you're trying to be an online business type of person? What does that mean? Well, it means in terms of that type of a diet, you might think that, okay, I'm studying the charts, and I always talk about things that I've done that I'm now realizing so I can help others at the same time. So I'm not like talking to you and be like, oh, you're doing this. I'm saying I did this and I've seen other people do this, and this could help you. So when it comes to trading specifically, and we'll talk about online business too, but when it comes to trading, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like I'm back testing, I'm documenting, I'm doing all of these things. Okay? But when it comes to trading, your diet, so compare the back testing charts, looking at the charts, writing up, documenting, compare all of that to actually going to the gym. So that's the comparison of going to the gym all the time, you're on the charts all the time. At the end of the day, none of that matters, because your diet, your mental diet, is going to determine what trade you actually put on or how you manage your trades. What do I mean by this? I mean, most people who trade today are pretty young. A lot of the traders today are pretty young, and your mental diet consists of you watching a ton of freaking Twitter stuff, a ton of Reddit tweets, and a ton of TikToks where people are like, oh, I just made $1 million bajillion in like 5 seconds. And it's the one time they made that $1 million bajillion, but they're still negative 10 million in debt. Okay? But they're only going to show that one time. Or that Reddit person who had a random lucky bet where they're gambling away their life savings and they made $1 million bajillion, right? You're seeing this instant gratification. So your mental diet consists of seeing people get instant gratification. That's why when you take a losing trade, you can't handle it. You go on tilt or you blow up your account. So what is your mental diet when it comes to trading? Yeah, you might be on the charts all the time. And I'm saying this from experience. Like, I was on the charts all the time and I was like, dang, like I can't handle a losing trade, or I can't manage my trade when I'm losing. I need to exit here. That's my stop. I wasn't exiting. But now I'm exiting when I hit my stop. I'm not losing like hardly any money when I trade on, and I take losses. And then my wins, I'm letting my wins run longer, or I'm able to spot wins because I'm not expecting instant gratification. And I'm able to wait for setups to appear, as opposed to needing to trade every single day or all the time. And currently in the markets are pretty trash. So I'm taking quite a bit of L's because my setup is not working how I want it to. So I'm taking quite a bit of L's. And I'm not one of those traders who's gonna like, oh, I don't lose. No, I'm taking some L's right now. And like I haven't taken that many trades because the market is not doing what I wanted to, but I think I'm like 2 for 7 right now. In the past like 3 weeks, I've only taken like 7 trades and I've only won 2 of them. And I'm still basically at break even. I'm just like slightly below, but like my losses are so small now because I exit really quick, and then my winners, I let them run. And I never thought that this was like real or it was true. I was like, man, you just have to win all the time. You can't win every trade. Your setup won't go all the time. Market's gonna want to do what it wants to do. But essentially, your mental diet is gonna determine whether you are an overall losing trader, where your losses are bigger than your wins, or if your wins are bigger than your losses. So your wins being bigger than your losses are the equivalent of you going to the gym, but also having a good diet, because then that means you're healthy, you're in shape. So are you in shape trading wise, mentally? Well, stop consuming that content that shows these fake traders making $1 bajillion million, or maybe some of them are real traders I personally know, like Mark Minervini, a U.S. trading champion. Are you just like looking at his stuff and comparing yourself to him? Like, oh man, why am I not there? Well, you're not there because you haven't gone through what it took him to get to mentally to get to that level. You're just seeing big trades and mentally you're consuming all this instant gratification content. You're seeing people make a ton of money online in like 5 seconds, and it appears to be 5 seconds because that's how long the clips are. The clips are only 5 to 10 seconds nowadays. So you weren't there with them in the trenches when they were freaking crying, not able to make it. They were on their last dollar, and didn't have anything. So your mental diet is what's killing you when it comes to your trading as well. And what I'm telling you right now is you cannot outwork a bad diet. No matter how hard you go on the charts, no matter how hard you backtest or all the documenting that you're doing, no matter what you're doing, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what are you consuming? Are you reading books that will help you with your mental fortitude, that'll help you on patience? Are you watching things about like meditation or mindfulness? Are you taking care of your mental when it comes to trading? And then when it comes to your physical health, are you eating the right foods? Low fats, high protein, moderate carbs? Are you eating in a caloric deficit? Then a lot of people aren't even tracking your calories. Are you tracking your trades? Right? You tracking your calories, or you tracking your trades? Okay, because when you track your calories, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I barely eat anything. And then you see the snack that they eat at night is a tub of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And they're like, man, I barely eat, but I'm still gaining weight. You just snuck in a Ben & Jerry's tub of ice cream at night. That thing's like 2,000 calories. You just ate all of that while watching Gilmore Girls. Head ass. So don't tell me you don't eat anything and you're still fat and out of shape. A lot of people are always doing that. Well, I just ate a bag of chips. Yeah, that bag of chips was an extra 1,800 calories. And I just had one soda. Well, your soda was like 600 calories. You could have substituted all of that. You could have substituted that bag of chips for some protein chips, which the bag is only 140 calories and has 20 grams of protein. Or you could have substituted the drink for like a prime energy, or not even a prime energy drink, but a prime electrolyte drink, or Gatorade Zero, something with 0 calories. I'm telling you right now, I am living proof that you cannot outwork a bad diet. I literally tried. I was like, all right, I played football my whole life. This is gonna be easy. I started working out super hard, but you can't outwork that. Like, you're putting in your body 6,000 calories. It's gonna take like 3 miles just to burn off like 500 calories. It's something like that. It's pretty insane though. The amount of miles you have to run, the amount of work you have to put in, the high intensity reps that you have to put in order to burn a certain amount of calories. It's pretty insane. So the way to prevent that is to prevent yourself from stuffing your face with all of these calories. Okay, and this came to my attention because I was like, man, I work out every day, but I'm like, I'll see the same people, right? We'll go to the gym. I remember me and my brother will go to the gym. We'll go to the gym, and at first, I was looking like trash. I was eating McDonald's. Literally anything that was on the way home, I was eating at Zaxby's, McDonald's, any fast food, you name it. Every one of their meals is 2,000 plus calories. And I'm only 5'11". I'm only about 5'11". Now I'm about 175. But before then, I was 5'11", like 205, pushing 210, 5'11", 205, 210. And it wasn't like a football 210 anymore. It was like a Homer Simpson 210. Okay. But anyways, I was 5'11", pushing 210, and it didn't look good. No six pack anymore. And like one day I turn around, I'm like, yo, dang, freaking no six pack. My stomach is like pushing out from my shirt. You can see my stomach pushing out from my shirt. And I was like, this is unacceptable, man. So I started working out hard, but it didn't matter. And then my brother, shout out to Luther V Fitness, he's like, yo, are you even tracking your calories? what are you eating? And I'm like, I'm not eating that much. And he's like, wait, you're not eating that much? I'm like, no. I come home and I'll eat a Taco Bell meal. And he's like, yo, that's not that much. I'm like, no, it's not that much. You look at the meal, it's like 4,000 calories. And I'm like, oh shit, is that good or bad? So you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know. I never really tracked my calories. I just ate whatever I wanted to, played football, did high intensity workouts. But if you're not doing that anymore, if you're not a professional athlete or a high quality athlete, you need to track your calories. You need to motherfucking track your calories. Okay? But essentially, we go to the gym every day. And I was out of shape. So he was like, all right, we're going to get you back in shape. And yeah, we were pretty much doing the same workouts, high intensity, just a little bit more intensity in it, a little bit more reps to get like the arms and stuff that I wanted, the cuts and stuff. We were doing a little bit more of that, but nothing really changed. We were in the gym for a shorter period of time. Okay, we were in the gym for a shorter period of time, but I essentially still ended up getting into really, really good shape. So much so that people started to not only just stare at him, but they started to stare at me, and they were like, yo, I remember this guy came up to me. He was like, hey man, and he was always there. He was always at the gym. He never said anything. They would just look at me and kind of scoff. And then one day, I took my shirt off because I was finally back in like really the best shape of my life. And he was like, hey man, I'm trying to look like you. What did you do? And I was like, hey, you see me in here every single day doing the same thing. He's like, dang man, what ab routine did you do? I was like, bro, I didn't do anything different. The only thing different that I did was when I get home, I am making sure to track my calories and watch my diet. Track my calories. I make sure that I'm not drinking juices. And if I do want to drink juice, I want a little bit of sugar or that flavor. I'm making sure that it has no calories. So whatever I'm eating, it's no calories, right? So that was the only thing that changed was my diet, right? You cannot outwork a bad diet. And these other guys, they're in the gym all the time. They're working out. They're working out longer and harder than we were working out. They're on that treadmill for an hour. They're in the sauna. They're pushing weights, but they're doing like 20 reps of stuff, thinking that, oh man, just because I work hard and I'm tired, I'm going to get in shape. But there's guys that were in there every day, man. And I'm talking about, for me, you saw a massive change in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, you saw a massive change. I think I was down like 12 pounds. I took like 4 inches off my waist, 4 or 5 inches off my waist. And like my upper chest was looking good. I was slimmed down. I was looking pretty good. And then after 2.5 months, so like 10 to 12 weeks, I wasn't even the same person. I was fit to flourish. I was fat to flourish before. And then after that, I was fit to flourish. And again, the reason is because I finally figured out. I was like, yo, I did this for like 4 months by myself. I was working out super hard for 4 months. But I figured out that I can't beat a bad diet. You cannot outwork a bad diet. So when it comes to your business as well, what are you consuming? What content are you consuming? Or what books are you consuming? Okay. What are you taking in? Because your input is always going to reflect your output. So that's why it's very important to focus on the input. I might call this video, your input is why you're failing in life, or what's keeping you stuck. Your input is what's keeping you stuck. What is your input? What is your diet? Right? Because what you're taking in is going to be a reflection of what you're getting out. Right? So if you plant a seed, okay, let's say you plant an orange seed. Well, you're going to get an orange tree. Okay? You plant an orange seed, you're going to get an orange tree. You can't be planting a pumpkin seed and expecting oranges. And that's essentially what's happening in your business, in your health journey, in your trading journey, you're planting pumpkin seeds, wishing for oranges. You can't do that. You can't outwork what you put in. Okay? So essentially, make sure that your input is a solid reflection of what you're expecting to get out, or else you will continue to be disappointed.